this is another class on literature, and we shall continue with your drama called Merchant of Venice. We are still in act number 4, scene number 1, and today we shall be taking the line from 64 to 89. So the characters that you will see today will be Bassanio, Shylock, Antonio and Duke. That means we are in act number 4 and scene 1. This is a very famous scene called the judgment scene. Here we are in the court of justice. The location, as I told you in the previous class, is the court of justice, and all these characters are present because Antonio is accused and Shylock is demanding his justice in the Duke's the place of justice, and Bassanio along with his friends have come to save the life of his dearest friend Antonio. So in the previous class, dear children, we learned that Shylock explained the reason why he was so adamant on his stand, why was he demanding his pound of flesh, and from what he told in the previous class, we are very sure that his demand, as he was saying what he needed, he was very strong and determined on his future. So that was line number 63 we had completed in the previous class. We are taking today line number 64, and we shall try to cover up to line number 89. So Bassanio says, this is no answer. This is no answer means this cannot be a correct answer or an answer that can be accepted. Now this has been spoken by Bassanio in response to the clarification given in the court by Shylock. Shylock said that he wanted justice because he has been ridiculed, he has been inflicted insult, and that it is his personal choice to demand a pound of flesh rather than having a pound of 3,000 ducats. Rather than having 3,000 ducats, to have a pound of flesh is his choice, is his personal choice, and this is what he is going to have. But Bassanio says, this is no answer, thou unfeeling man. Unfeeling man means heartless man, merciless man. To excuse the current of thy cruelty. Current of thy cruelty means thy cruelty means your merciless action. You are simply making an excuse for your merciless action. But this may though satisfy you, but it does not satisfy us. So we do not accept this as a very good explanation for your merciless demand. Shylock says, I am not bound to please thee with my answer. I am not here to make you happy with my answers. I am not here to explain you. I am not here to satisfy you, but I am here to take my dues, to collect my dues from Antonio, and that is a pound of flesh. Bassanio, do all men kill the things they do not love? So once again Bassanio is trying to convince Shylock to mitigate his demand, to say, he says that, do all the men kill those things or those persons whom they hate? Shylock hates any man the thing he would not kill. If a person hates a man, or if a person hates any creature, will he not kill? Bassanio, every offense is not a hate at first. Every offense means every fault does not begin with hatredness. It begins with, what he is trying to say is, it begins with some action. That means Bassanio is trying to say that Shylock must have done something for which he is hated, or he was insulted, or he was harmed by Antonio. So who is to be blamed is Shylock. And that is his action, his behavior has resulted in the hatredness. Shylock, what? Wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice? Do you want a serpent to bite you twice? Sting thee twice means bite you twice. Because once, this is highly meaningful. Actually, it has a double-fold meaning. The first meaning is, if you are bitten by a snake, will you offer your leg to it once again? Of course not. He is trying to say, what he is trying to say is, Antonio is serpent. He has caused a loss to Shylock in his business, and that loss is actually a biting. And Shylock should not allow Antonio to repeat the action. Just like we do not allow the snake to repeat its action, so should Shylock not allow Antonio to repeat his action. Then Antonio gives an elaborate explanation, and Antonio says, remember, Antonio is the person accused, he is the real businessman, and he is supposed to lose a pound of flesh to Shylock. I pray you think you question with the Jew. I pray you think you question with the Jew. Means I am requesting you that you should understand that you are questioning the Jew. He is indirectly meaning to say that you should understand that you are questioning the Jew means you are discussing with the Jew. And you should know that what a kind of person is Jew. It is useless to talk to this Jew, Shylock. You may as well go and stand upon the beach and beat the main flood bait its usual height. You may go. Antonio is suggesting Bassanio that rather than talking to Shylock and making any request to him, rather than doing this, what Bassanio should do is, so what is Antonio saying to Bassanio is this: instead of making any request to Shylock, he should go to a beach, stand on its bank, and request the beach not to rise its wave as high as it normally had been doing. And he is confident that the waves will understand, the beach will understand, the seas will understand. But Shylock will not understand. Shylock is worse. Shylock is inhuman. The animals will understand, the beach will understand, everybody in fact will understand except Shylock. You may as well use question with the wolf why he hath made the ewe bleed for the lamb. You may go to a wolf who has killed the ewe and made the lamb bleed. Ewe is the young one of a lamb, and bleat is the noise made by them. So what has happened is, a wolf has killed the young one of a lamb and has made the lamb lament, cry. You may go to that wolf and ask it a question, why did it do so? The wolf may realize, or the wolf will realize, that it has done something bad. It may regret, and in future it may not do so. So it will change its heart, it will change its mind, it will change its opinion. But it is Shylock who will never change his opinion. So it is useless to talk to it. You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag its high tops and to make no noise. One more event. You may, instead of going to Shylock and making any request, you may also go to a high top, that's on a mountain, on top of a mountain. Now what happens on top of mountain is, there are the pine trees, and that's very very thin and long, and whenever there's a gust of wind blowing, it sways and produces eerie sounds. You may go, and if that sound is disturbing you, you may go and make request to the pine trees not to sway. Even the pine trees will understand, will listen to you. So these are three different acts which are impossible in fact, but they will be ready to listen to you. The first is standing on the beach and requesting not to rise its waves very high. The second one is going to a wolf and questioning it, why did it kill the ewe and made the lamb lament. And the third is standing, going to a very high mountain tops and requesting the pine trees not to sway. They will listen, they will understand, they will stop. But Shylock will not stop. When they are frightened with the gust of wind, frightened means disturbed. Still we are in the mountain tops. On the mountain tops, frightened means while the movement of the pine trees gets disturbed when there is a gust of heaven. Gust of heaven means wind coming at a very high speed on the high altitude. When the wind comes blowing at a very high altitude, what it causes is it frightens, means makes a lively movement in the trees, and it may result in production of some sound that may not be very very pleasing to you. If you go and make all these three requests, They may listen to you, but Shylock, who is supposed to listen, will definitely not listen. You may as well do anything most hard. The most hard thing may be achieved. The most difficult thing may be achieved. But Shylock's heart cannot be changed. Seek to soften that. So whatever is the most hard may be made soft. But whatever is supposed to be soft has become so hard that it may not be, or it cannot be made soft. Like all those three examples which has been given are very hard. But if you request them, they may be made soft. And what is already soft is the heart of Shylock, because it's a human person. He is a human being, and his heart is very, very soft. But he has made his heart so hard that he is a hard-hearted person, and that hard thing cannot be made soft, which in fact was supposed to be very, very soft. Then which was harder? Then something that was very, very soft but has become hard, and that is Shylock's heart. His Jewish heart. Therefore, I beseech you. Jewish heart is the heart of Shylock has become very, very hard, and it cannot be made soft. So something that is hard can be made soft, but something that is supposed to be soft has become very hard, and that cannot be made soft. Please avoid confusion. There should be no confusion. The three examples were hard but can be made soft. Shylock's heart, because he is a human being, is soft, supposed to be soft, but has become so hard that it cannot be made soft. I do beseech you. Beseech means request. Make no more offers, no request now. Use no further means, don't beg, but with all brief and plain conveniency. Brief and plain conveniency means, brief means in short, and plain conveniency means in simple words, simplicity. In brief and simple words, Antonio says, let me have judgment. Let me face the judgment, and let me bear the consequences. And the Jew his will. Let Jew have his will. And what is the will of the Jew? Is a pound of flesh. Let him take from me, and let me face the consequences. So this is a very, very sad explanation given by Antonio. He has given up his life. He has no hope of living, and he is ready to die. But what does Bassanio say? Bassanio says, for thy 3,000 decades here is 6. Bassanio is already prepared. In fact, he was prepared with a huge amount which Portia had told him to take while going to Venice to save the life of his dearest friend. So Bassanio was equipped with a plenty of wealth, and Bassanio is offering him 6,000 decades. Antonio had taken 3,000 decades. For Antonio, he is offering in the court, in presence of everybody, 6,000 decades. Shylock says, if every decade in 6,000 decades were in 6 parts, and every part of decade I would not draw them, I would have my bond. So Shylock says, you are offering me 6,000 decades. So in 6,000 decades, how many decades are there? 6,000 decades are there. And if every decade had the value of 6, so in total it would have become 6,000 decade, and every decade has the value of 6. So in total it will become 36,000 decades. Shylock says to Bassanio, you are offering me 6,000 decades. Indirectly he says, had you offered me 36,000 decades, even in that case I would have rejected it, and I would have still insisted on my demand, on the forfeiture which I am due to get. Duke, how shall thou hope for mercy, rendering none? Rendering none means if you don't show any mercy here on this earth when you are living, how will you get justice, or how can you expect to get justice after your death when you go to his kingdom, when you go to heaven? How can you expect mercy from God? So if you are expecting mercy from God, then you need to be merciful, you need to show mercy to others. So this is how, somewhere at the end of this line number 89, the Duke also tries to convince Shylock that Shylock should give up the idea of taking or collecting a pound of flesh from Antonio. So dear children, line number 64 to 89 we have completed, and brief summary of this line, what I must say is still the Duke is trying to convince Shylock. Shylock is still adamant, he is still obstinate, and he is still demanding his due, whereas you can say that Antonio has totally given up his life and he has no expectation of any survival, and Bassanio is desperately giving every effort in order to save the life of his dearest friend Antonio. So with this, dear children, we conclude this particular video clip. In the next video clip we shall continue from line number 90. So thank you and take care.